That's right, everybody. It's finally happening. We're putting a brisket on that new Ninja Woodfire Grill. Y'all gonna want to stick around for this one. If you're expecting like true barbecue joint flavor, you're not gonna get it. Okay, so just kind of get that out of your head. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Cooking with CJ. I'm CJ. Welcome to my backyard. So glad you're here. That's right, we're outside again, where all the car noises and helicopters and birds and all that stuff happen while we cook. But that's okay. We'll deal with it. I don't want to be back in my kitchen so bad. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, guys, we have a brisket today. We got a nice, almost 7-pound brisket. Got that brisket from Porter Road, so I will put a link down below if you guys want to get yourself one. It's a half brisket, so there's a little bit of point in there and a little bit of flat in there. Okay, they basically just took a Packer brisket and sliced it in half. So you're getting both muscles in a brisket. Okay, what we've already done is trimmed it up. We do a nice, pretty solid trim. Nothing's gonna win a competition, but we get rid of all that hard fat in there, all the thin edges, all the little scraggly bits. I take the point down to the meat because I want that fattier part of the brisket, which is the point, to have the meat exposed so I can get that barbecue seasoning on there and build that nice bark. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I seasoned it up with some Lucky Shake from Uncle Steve's Shake. I'll put a link down below for that one if you guys want to get it. It's a really great beef shake. All right, got a little heat in there, a little bit sweet. It's really, really good. Savory bits too. So I think it's a perfect seasoning for a brisket, okay? So that brings us to now, all right? We're about ready to get this on the Woodfire Grill. I looked at the book, you know, your quick start guide, your recipe booklet that comes with your grill, and it says to put it on the smoke mode for 5 hours at 250. Now it's the same thing that I kind of had a problem with the directions for the ribs. I'll put that video up here so you can check it out. That low and slow-ish, with not a lot of smoke coming in, because the pellets really only last for about 45 minutes in there. So at some point you're just, you know, blowing air on it, right? And you're just getting that, you know, that hot air going over it, which, you know, you cook it, but you're not going to get that much smoke, and eventually you're going to dry out your meat. Okay, so these are the kind of things I'm dealing with, you know, spinning in my brain about with this machine. I want more than 45 minutes worth of smoke to go on there, so we're going to do 2 rounds of about an hour of the smoke setting. Okay, at 250, so we'll use the 250. So we're gonna run through one smoke setting at 250, run through a thing of the pellets, a little half cup of the pellets. You'll see them already burned out. I'm gonna shut it down, put new pellets in there, start it back up, give it another hour or so of smoke, right? Then we're gonna wrap that bad boy when it gets to about 160, 170 in there. We're gonna wrap it in tin foil, get a little, I got a little mix between some beef stock, a little soy sauce, and a little Worcestershire sauce. We're gonna pour that over it, tighten, wrap it, like I did with the ribs, take it to 350 on the bake setting until we get to about 200 degrees, 205, 210. But along with the temperature, we're looking for probe tenderness, okay? Once we get to that point with the probe tenderness, over 200 degrees, all that stuff, we'll go ahead and pull that brisket out. We're gonna wrap it up in a towel and let it rest for at least an hour. Once that time comes up, we actually might be back in the kitchen. I'm gonna bring you along the way. I know we're kind of over talking it, we're kind of explaining a lot, but with this new grill, I want you guys to, you know, kind of see every little step I take. Every little step I take, you will be there. Where are my Bobby Brown fans at? Every little step I take. Anyway, so sorry about that. No one needed to see that, you know, that little path down 90s Boulevard, whatever it was. Anyway, all right, so that's where we're at right now. Let's go ahead and get this grill fired up. Like I said, I know it's a bit of talking, but I kind of wanted you to jump in my mind a little bit on how we're gonna do things with this cook, okay? But before we fire up this grill, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to hit that red subscribe button with that bell next to it so you can get alerts when we start cooking on this thing, or, you know, any other thing I cook. I do a lot more than Ninja Woodfire Grill videos, but those have just kind of been taking over the channel for the last week or two. But we have other stuff going on, so don't stress. I do a lot of good cooking here, so we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. I need that play button. I feel it in my soul. Let's get there. Help me get there, and I appreciate all of you. So let's get this smoker fired up, get that brisket on. What do you say? All right, let's go on. All right, team, let's go ahead and get these pellets in. We're using the robust blend. We got a big piece of meat right here. We want some robust flavors. All right, and like I said, we're gonna run through this twice. So pellets are in. All right, let's get our grill open and get our brisket on. I kind of took off the better part of the fat cap because we want, obviously I want the bark to form on here. So the booklet says if you do have a fat cap on any of your meats, have the fat cap facing up, okay? Obviously that's where the heat's coming from, so we wanna make sure that you got that under control. You wanna protect the meat. Or we turned it to smoker. It could say 4 hours, it doesn't matter. Like I said, we're gonna check it after 45 minutes to an hour, make sure all those pellets are burned out, and then we're gonna stop it, turn it back off, add more pellets, turn it back to smoker, give it another hour of the smoke. So let's go ahead and start it. All right, guys, we're fired up the machine. You'll start hearing the fan running a little bit. You'll see the smoke come out. We're using 2 different ways to check the temperatures on this one. I'm using my meter probe, my wireless probe that we went ahead and put in the brisket. I forgot when I shut it down and started it, so I lifted it up real quick, put the probe in. We're good to go now. I can set it up to show that we're doing a brisket. I want to have an alert at 170, and then once we wrap it up, I'll put the probe back in and adjust the timing on there to 200 or 205 or so. Okay, so it's a handy dandy item. We're also going to use my instant read thermometer to check as we go, and then that's what we'll be using towards the end to check the tenderness, the probe tenderness as they call it, okay? So we got 2 different thermometers we're using on this one. I'll have links for both below if you guys want to get yourself one. My particular Ninja Woodfire Grill is not the pro one that comes with the thermometer attached, which is fine. I don't think those thermometers are all that accurate anyway. So that's why we're gonna use the meter in this one anyway. All right, I can smell the smoke starting already. I don't know if you can see it behind me or not, but it's a good smell. I always love the smell of wood burning on a barbecue, right? We'll see you in about 45 minutes to an hour. All right, team, smoke is rolling. All right, team, we're an hour in. The pellets have ran out. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and shut this down, add more pellets, start up another smoke cycle. I'm gonna go ahead and bump up the temperature to 275 with this next round of pellets and let it get to the 160, 170 using the 275. So how many hours that takes, okay? So let's go ahead and add more pellets. The little pellet holder actually comes out, so I'm gonna dump out any ash that's in there, and then we'll add more pellets. You can see we just got a little ash in there, so we're gonna go ahead and get those out and put a new batch in there. Okay, so we're gonna take this out and dump the ash. All right, get that back in. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down. We're gonna turn it off, get these pellets back in. Just did another cup full. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get the smoker back on. I'm gonna raise the temp to 275, and we're gonna hit start. So what this is gonna do is refire that heating element in there, get more smoke rolling. This is it as far as like the smoke hitting it. So this setting with this batch of pellets is just gonna take care of it until it hits to the 160, 170 mark. All right, second round of smoke is going. Building a nice bark on there. It's kind of getting a little dry on that spot, but you can see that the rub's sticking on. We're gonna start spritzing. We got a little beef stock and a little Worcestershire sauce. So we're gonna do our best to keep the bark forming, but keep it as moist as possible in there. So we're gonna do this probably every 20 minutes or so, just to make sure that we get that nice bark developed. All right, team, we're temping out just over 170 or so in there. We're gonna go ahead and take a closer look at it. Got just a tremendous bark on there. It did kind of tighten up, so it looks a bit bigger right now. I don't even know how to describe that. Just kind of shrunk up a little bit. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna turn the grill off and then turn it back on to the bake setting once we get this thing wrapped. I'm gonna bring you over to this table over here and we'll get it wrapped up, okay? Right, team, we're gonna double wrap this brisket up. This is our concoction of broth and Worcestershire sauce. Here's our beautiful barked out brisket. Like I said, kind of tightened up a little bit, not laying as flat as it was, but that's okay. So I'm gonna boat this up a little bit, do just a little bit of a pour over. We may not use all of this, but we're hydrating the bark a little bit, getting this in there to, whoa, like I said, it's a little breezy. Okay, fold that over, fold that over. This is such an odd shaped brisket. So it obviously looks a little bit different, but we got some nice heavy duty foil here that's getting blown all to hell. You want it tight around the brisket. We'll go ahead and fold up this side. We'll let it nice and braise and steam in there. Get nice and tender. All right, we're gonna get our meter back in. All right, we're back on the grill. Meter's in, shut it down. Gonna turn it to bake, 350, and I'm gonna set it for a couple hours. Actually, I'm gonna set it for 230. All right, hit start. I'll let it do the preheat, and we'll keep an eye on that meter probe. We have it back on the grill. It's preheating. We're doing bake setting, 300. Again, we want to go to 205, 210, that range, okay? We are gonna use our instant read thermometer. Look for it to be probe tender, so that's when we stick our thermometer in there. We're not getting any resistance from the brisket, okay? I'll see you in a second for you guys, but about 2.5 hours for us. What's up, team? We are an hour and a half into the baking part, and my meter probe is telling me that we're at 208. So I'm going to check the rest of the brisket with my probe. We'll probably be over 200 in all the spots. We want to make sure that there's little resistance going in with that probe, and then we'll be ready to pull this out, get it wrapped up in a towel, let it rest at least 1 hour, okay? Let's get this thing pulled out of here. Lighting is a little rough, but it is what it is. We're just kind of filling in there. No resistance. Going in like butter once we get past the tin foil. Okay. Yeah, we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and just use this little towel to pull it out of here. Yeah, so I have a towel here that I don't mind getting messed up. Let's take out this meter real quick. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap it in there. Just let it rest for at least 1 hour. Come on back. We'll be in the house. We'll be ready to chop this up. All right, guys, as you can see, it's a little bit later and we're in my kitchen. We've let this rest well over 2.5 hours. But like I said, as long as you let it go for at least an hour, you're in good shape. Okay, let's get this out of the foil and we'll start slicing it up. All right, come on down. Okay, we're gonna unwrap this bad boy out of the towel. Got it on the cutting board. Got our Doll Strong slicer link down below. See how this goes. It's like Christmas over here, unwrapping a present. Would you look at that? Let's take this out of the foil on the board. Flat muscles going this way. We're gonna start slicing against the grain. See what we're looking like on there. This is basically all point with a little bit of flat, so you can see the two muscles. Go. No smoke ring, but it's okay. Looking good. Let's cut it this way. See the other part of it, more of the point. We'll leave these for some burnt ends. It's tender, it's done. You can see it's juicy. I don't know how I'm gonna pile this up to make a good picture, but we'll figure it out. We're gonna get a little of that tallow over the top too. All right, good stuff. Team, we're done. Took all the pretty shots, set it up nice with some butcher paper and made it look aesthetically pleasing, I guess. But it's a piece of brisket that's been cooked for a long time, so I don't know how aesthetically pleasing they can be. But one thing I noticed right off the bat, no smoke ring. All right, so it doesn't matter how much smoke I put into that thing, you ain't gonna see a smoke ring, but that's okay. Again, just like the rib video, smoke ring doesn't make the barbecue. What makes the barbecue is the flavor. So let's see here. I mean, a little bite of the burnt ends, a little the fatty bits right here. All right, good. It's very good. Okay, so second thoughts a little bit. I got the smoke flavor. All right, so we're good there. Running it through the smoke cycle twice definitely was helpful. That bark that we formed on there, I mean, that's restaurant quality right there. Flavors we used with the Uncle Steve shake, very tasty. So, recap. We did 2 cycles of about an hour each with the pellets and the smoke. An hour and a half wrapped at 350. Let it rest. Well, I let mine rest for about 2.5 hours, but you know, as long as you do at least an hour, you'll be good. Sliced it up against the grain as best as possible. Turned out very, very good. Plenty and plenty of flavor. I would recommend doing it in there. If you're expecting like true barbecue joint flavor, you're not gonna get it. Okay, so just kind of get that out of your head. It has good smoke flavor for a little pellet cooker. Okay, so just kind of take that for what it's worth. This is not a huge outdoor pit. This is not an offset. It's not even like a professional like pellet grill, a competition pellet grill, okay, or a pellet smoker. Okay, so go into it with that mindset. You can produce perfectly good, you know, barbecue in that Woodfire grill. All right. Oh, speaking of the Woodfire grill, if you guys want to jump on this train and give it a try for yourself, I'll put a link down below for it. It is an affiliate link, but it doesn't cost anything else for you, and it helps out the channel. I'll put links for my instant read thermometer. I'll put links for that meter probe, for Uncle Steve's shake, any of the stuff I use in the videos, merch, all that stuff you can find underneath the video in the video description. All right. If you want to become a show producer, like all these awesome people, all these brisket loving people scrolling in front of me right now, hit that join button right next to that subscribe button, which you should have already hit right now. And that, guys, we are done. Listen, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thanks for sticking with me all the way through. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for cooking with CJ. Take care.